Hello and welcome to the WIHS Journal Public Affairs program. I'm Jerry Williams. Well, today you're going to hear clips of my conversation with Steve and Suli Pack of Meant2Be Movers. You'll hear how Christ impacted their lives and the unique story on how they got together and what Meant2Be Movers is all about. We pick up where Steve's explaining where it all began for him as an altar boy. That's happening now on the WIHS Journal. It's news and public affairs.
In the beginning, I was altar boy. I went to Catholic school. But then when I got like 10, 11, went to regular school, and I definitely did not follow Christ, but I was still had him in my heart. I just didn't realize how much he was there. And then me and Sue met on a cruise ship. And then all of a sudden we were working together one day and we said, we're missing something. It just feels empty. We have the house, we have the kids, we have Harleys, we're good. But something was missing. And the phone rang and I answered the phone and I hung up the phone and Sue said, who was that? I said, it was God. And she said, what do you want? I said, he invited us to breakfast. And that's how we went to a breakfast our first time. And that's when we met Pastor Andy. And we started going to service.
You mentioned a cruise. You met on a cruise. Sue, share how that happened, the whole cruise story.
Crazily, right after September 11th happened, prior to the actual, 2001 event, we had booked a cruise for a graduation gift for my niece, and me and my sister and her best friend were going, and September 11th happened, so it was kind of like, the world stopped. We weren't sure if we were still going to be going, but what I was going through in my life and the changes that were happening, I kind of just felt like, yep, this is a turning point. I'm going. And we went. And when I was on the cruise, the first day, Steve walked by the pool that my sister and I were sitting at with two of his friends. And I checked him out and thought, I'm going to be dancing with him tonight. And so that night we were all at the club or whatever, because it was on and it was vacation mode time and we were having a good time. But Steve was nowhere to be found. So without realizing, I had started dancing with some people, a girl I had met and her husband and another friend. And when I realized it was the two guys that were walking with Steve by the pool, I went, oh, where's your other friend? Because that's who I'm supposed to be dancing with. And he said, oh, he's an early to bed, early to rise kind of guy. So I said, well, you let him know I wanted to be dancing with him tonight. And He said, I'll be right back. And that was it. He left, came back with Steve. We talked all night, and the sun was rising, thinking, oh my gosh, I got to go parasailing with my family.
Yeah.
So, but then, we found out we both lived in Connecticut, which was just amazing. And by the time, we got home and, phone calls started, and it was magical. I mean, while we were on the boat, that's when we talk about we were before walking with God when we were, not together. And every time when you think about the moments on the boat, it was like God was purposely creating these ways for us to bump into each other. Like, I forgot my pocketbook. Hang on, guys. I turn around, run back to my room. And when I turned the corner for the hall, Steve would be right there and I'd run into him. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Excuse me, and off I'd go. But it just kept happening over and over. It's like, I don't think it's purposeful. This boat is too big, So God was really working it, I think, because we, once we found that we needed more in life, what are me missing feeling is it's God. We're missing the point. That's when we knew. It's like he knew he was creating that duo that needed to be together to find their way together, Interestingly, when I think about my testimony, and I hear so many women's stories at different, events and retreats and stuff, and there'll be heart-wrenching testimonies that just make me feel like I don't have a good story is how I feel. He didn't find me at my worst, So I kind of don't tell my testimony, but when I think about it, it's a good one still, because I met the man of my dreams. That's his phone number in my phone. It says the man of my dreams is calling, right? So I met the man of my dreams. We have a beautiful home. We started our business. We have these great jobs. We have these great kids. Look at how great the kids are turning out. And we were kind of patting each other on the back, and saying like, why do we feel like we still need more then? That's when that phone call happened in that conversation in the car, which was just crazy. There was a phone call from a pastor saying, hey, I'm having a breakfast. Come to this church this weekend. We didn't know him, but we showed up. And I just think when, especially talking to my children about it, when it comes to my life with Christ before having him and with him, when Stevie was so young, he's like, how do you know it's real, Mommy? And I said, well, I look at it this way. If it's not, right? Shame on me for living cleaner, happier, healthier, it's brighter, it's easier, it's so fulfilling. Think about my life before I had God. It was a little darker, a little dirtier, it's so much better. It's so much better with God. It's so fulfilling. The women that I've met, that's what I prayed for. The first time I went to the church, I was like, maybe I'll find some women that I can hang out with, like things. I don't want to go to bars and all these places I went to as young, when you're young and trying to find the adulting that you think you're supposed to be doing. I wanted women to do things like, oh my gosh, look at these retreats they are throwing. Not throwing, but
Right.
I want to be a part of this. They are on fire in some kind of way that I need and want more of. So it's definitely life-changing, and it's so much fuller with God,
Steve and Sue Lepak is our guest and man of Sue's dreams. Now, you guys, you have this Meant2Be Movers, and you give guys or young men, or I don't know if you hire women or whatever, but whoever you hire, you give them second chances.
Yes.
So that's a ministry in itself. Talk about that.
We believe in that people will grow and people make mistakes. They should be entitled to still work, but have people around them that have been in different places that we all need something and want something more. And you can't just slam God into people's faces. So we already have people like Laura Essex who will refer somebody to us because they're doing differently in a different place. And they already have screened them a little bit to know they're being real, because we put people in houses. So we have to make sure these people are good. And then they come and we give them love. We encourage them. We show them there is punishments if you're not doing the right thing. You can't just go do the wrong things if you work for our company. But we have a bond, and God is planting seeds through us, I believe, and helping and encouragement to water those seeds. And we are just blessed that we are able to do that.
And you two are bikers. You have Harleys, I believe, right?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. His and her Harleys, you guys out, having some quality time together. That must be pretty cool, huh?
My father passed away when he was 45, and I got his Harley, so I am blessed that I got to redo it, and I get to ride this beautiful machine. And my wife loves Harley. She didn't want to be on the back of mine. She says, well, I want my own. So she has her own.
Yeah.
We definitely enjoy it.
I love riding my motorcycle. The only difference now, though, on the back of a bike, you get to look at the trees. That's a weeping willow. Look how pretty it is. And, enjoy the scenery. And now I'm feeling like they're all trying to kill me. I have to pay attention to everything. So it's not as enjoyable as it used to be, but it's such a freeing feeling. You just got to get out to where there's, not a lot of people.
Yeah. So I met the Lepaks in The Passion. Steve played a Roman soldier. He played a great Roman soldier. His presence was just incredible. And you designed a lot of the costumes. So I watched the both of you work together, and I was just amazed. And then I heard a little bit about your story. I was like, I got to have this couple here at WIHS. So many costumes and so many people, large cast. And I watched how you handled the volume with the joy of the Lord on you. And I watched Steve being part of things backstage and having to deal with the cross and hoisting a person.
Yes.
Maybe,
you
I
don't
don't know,
want to really crucifix a man. Exactly.
So I just watched the both of you interact and how you dealt with people and how you're beloved, and I thought I'd have you here. Now, going back to Meant2Be Movers, are you guys at capacity, or are you still looking for people right now?
Oh, everybody's looking for people right now. And here comes our season. It's a seasonal, everybody moves more in the spring, summer. We could definitely hire on some more men as we get ready for the summer months,
Yes.
So we have plenty of trucks. any good men and women.
Yeah, yeah.
I
We do
jokingly
hire
say,
women.
Okay, good.
Yeah, if you like to pick things up and put them down, I can pay you to do it. Come on over.
All right. Well, God bless you. Thank you for coming and sharing your nutshell stories, and keep doing what you're doing, and keep fighting the good fight of faith always. You're on the right track. You're on the winning team. You're in the winning family.
Thank you,
Thank
brother,
God,
so
amen.
much. Thank you for having us on.
Yeah, maybe have to come by. I got to see your bikes.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll drive them over one day.
She's got an extra one, so.
I can take, you can borrow one.
All
I'll
right.
go out.
We'll talk. If you would like more information about what you heard today, call WIHS 860-346-1049, 860-346-1049. The opinions expressed are those of the participants, not necessarily of those of the staff or management of the station. I'm Jerry Williams for the WIHS Journal. It's news and public affairs.